parked since 1974. I gotta wonder, why not? Will it start? Let's see. All right, I pulled the plugs out a week or so ago, put some oil in there. I finally got the engine freed up. I pulled the cap so I can clean the points, replace some wires, and replace some ready wiring there going to the ignition coil. It's kind of nasty, but at least it turns over. So we're gonna see if we can do a will it start video today. And if it runs, we're gonna rebuild the carburetor right over there, pull it off, and give it to my buddy Clay. That's the plan. Stick with us. All right, I got filed the ignition points, and I re-gapped the points and stuck it back together, replaced this one wire right here. I'm gonna jump her across straight here to the battery, which I just did. I've got a remote starter switch hooked up to the starter. So in theory, if I did everything right, I should have some spark jumping off of here. So let's see what we have. Good hot spark, look at that.
Oh my.
All right, you see it?
Yeah, put that to your tongue, see what happens.
No.
Wow, you're no fun.
Good hot spark. All right, we're on to something. We got it spinning over, so maybe we can get it started. That's the plan. First start, I think 47 years. All right, bring you guys back in just a few minutes. Queenie?
Hi.
Queenie?
Hi.
Queenie made us turnip greens, pinto beans, cornbread. She did good, didn't she, Vern?
Yeah, Clay, you messed out.
Yeah, you missed out, Clay. That's all right. We'll have more for us, I guess, for our second go-around. But they were good, Queenie. We appreciate that. That was real tasty, right? Tasty little beans. All right, I got the plugs in. I cleaned them best I could. They were worn out. Gaps were a quarter of an inch and oil fouled, but I cleaned them best I can and re-gapped the plugs. Trying to find some junk, the best junk wires I can find around here. Those two are junk. That's junk. But there's another one there that's not quite as junky as the rest. So let's see if we can get some wires on it and hopefully it'll run. Bring it back shortly. All right, I put the plugs back in it. I've got the ignition disconnected. I just want to spin it over for a while. There's the jumper wire to the ignition coil. I want to see if it'll spin over and turn over. Well, while I was turning it, when I was spinning it, which is very slowly, I keep hearing noises. So we found some noise up here in the front. I figured we better check that out and disconnected the generator, and that was the noise up front. I'm hearing some noise in the back, which concerns me because the transmission's been pulled out, and I looked up in the hole. I couldn't get up under there very good, but I just put a flashlight up in there. The release bearing, the fork is there, the release bearing is gone. So my gut feeling is hopefully they took the release bearing with them when they pulled the transmission out, or it could have fallen in down there and be in the clutch housing with the flywheel and pressure plate and all, which would be a problem if it started. Also, I decided to go ahead and check compression on one of the cylinders just to see what we have. And I see we have about 35 pounds. So that's cylinder one. So I guess I better go ahead and pull the plugs out first. Let's check compression because I hear compression coming back through the carburetor. So let's run compression on a few more cylinders and see if we have even enough compression to make this thing run. All right, let's try it again. Cylinder number 2. Okay, got distracted. We're working on Vern's satellite, working on the duster. Got the Queenie and Vern out here in the background, and I'm giving them the hand as I can. Here's the compression, 35 pounds through 60 pounds, 1 through 6. So that's not enough compression to get this thing going, I'm sure. I'm going to soak it with oil, keep soaking the cylinders with oil, and go out there periodically every day or two, spin it around and around with the starter. See if we can loosen up those rings a little bit. It's got something internal. I'm not sure if it's in the engine or maybe that release bearing, but we can hear something there kind of That doesn't sound good. It sounds metallic. Anyway, we'll bring it back later. Still working on the first start, and we'll get there, or we won't. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. I'm back on the 57 again. The starter barely turns it over, so I rebuilt the starter. I just had a bunch of old parts, bushings, brushes, springs, pins, all that stuff that I normally need. Spare parts I had left over for the last 40 years. I've got a hand lathe. I'll show you the hand lathe. There's the undercutter, the mica undercutter right there. You just set the armature in here and then slide this bar back and forth to undercut the mica. There's my old growler I bought back in the early 60s from the Mac Tool Man. And this is pretty cool. This is my old hand lathe. When I was real young, I was too poor to buy an electric operated armature cutter and undercutter, so I had bought this used hand lathe. It just chucks in a vise right there. Stick it in your vise, put it in your collet that you need, slide the armature in on this end, and then crank it by hand, and it walks across this way and cuts the armature nice and smooth. I bought that from a guy. He had it in the 50s, and I bought it from him, I don't know, maybe early 60s, and I've had it all my life. So maybe I'll do a video on that, show you how that operates sometime if you're interested in it. All right, we're gonna see if we can get the starter back on, put some more oil in it, start spinning it over again, and try to raise the compression on that engine. I think I mentioned this earlier, I'm not sure. I was worried about that release bearing maybe dropped down in the hole in there when they pulled the transmission out. And I got to thinking about it, and that birdie said, you better check it, because if that's not in there, you're gonna destroy something or lock everything down. So I'm glad I listened to the little bird. There's a relief bearing. It was jammed up in there. At least that's one more thing out of the way. We're still working. Bring you guys back shortly. Right, I must be doing something right. This is another day. I've been piddling with this thing day to day, shooting little oil in cylinders, rotating it. And anyway, after several days of doing that, I brought this cylinder up here. I believe it's 35 pounds of compression. I'm up to 100 pounds now, so we may be able to get this thing running for sure. That's a good positive sign anyway. I'm happy. All right, we're gonna attempt the first start here. It's 1974. I don't have a clue.
It's a 1957, but
it's a 1957 last run in 1974. So we just shot some fuel down that carburetor there. Vern, you got the coil wire hooked up?
Yep.
All right, let's see what happens. See if we can get it firing hole.
Ready?
You ready?
All right.
Try it.
Hey.
It has issues.
Try it again.
You got some stuck valves.
Yep, stuck valves. Boy, spin it again.
You need breath mint.
Oh well. Anyway, first start since 1974.
Man. Not too bad for a Jerry Springer.
Hey, what the crap? Whatever. Well.
Have you got it running?
Well, yeah.
You got it running.
I still had one cylinder, like 35 pounds of compression on it. Only two cylinders came up. The others came up a little bit. One.
Yeah, you soaked them too. You soaked the cylinders down. You put new plugs in it, and you did what? You fixed the points.
Yeah. So we just.
You did it all, man. You got to at least start, man, and
At least it'll run. Yep. Anyway, first time since 1974. A lot of work just to hear that 10 seconds.
Hey, put it in there again.
10 seconds of run time, but what the crap.
Try it again.
All right, we'll try it again.
All right, this time keep on giving it juice. Ready?
Ready.
Go. can sell you this car. This car is for sale right now. We got it running. We got a title in hand. $3,500.
No, I'm not selling it.
$3,500.
I don't care. It's not for
Nah,
sale.
he's selling it.
It's a two-door conversion.
Yeah, it's a two-door.
All right, there you go. First start since 1974. Doesn't run good, but it runs.
It doesn't run good, but it runs. That's
What
right.
the heck? I'm happy. All right, we'll move on to the next video, which is coming up, unfortunately. Duster. I'm going to have to be forced to work on the Duster, but Queenie's been working on the Duster for days.
Yeah,
So,
days and days.
days and days and days.
Don't listen, days,
We'll
guys.
get there, folks. Get you later. Thanks for stopping in. Hello, Vern. Say hello.
Hello, Vern.
Hello, Vern.
Like a bird.
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
bird.
All right.
I got Schillenbergers. You know, started itching over here. See y'all.